A good friend convinced me to start a stake pool with him because it was easy. You don't have much hardware requirements at this time. We have started with a Raspberry Pi, and just to try out new technology and how this all works. You couldn't do this on Bitcoin, for example. Proof of work, you need a very expensive hardware for this, but Cardano was something new, and we just decided to try. In March or in April in the last year, 2021, sorry. And like I said, I saw all the tweets about NFTs and Cardano is getting native assets and we can make NFTs now. And I just didn't know what it's about NFTs, and started to doing my research and looking through Twitter. After doing my research, I found out that NFTs are not really based on a blockchain, and they are stored on, in the most cases, on IPFS, and only the hash of these images and whatever is stored on the blockchain. Working with a blockchain, I think you don't really need much scripting or programming experience, because it's all working through the CLI tool, and there are just some console orders you need to execute, and you can just working with a blockchain, asking and you get return, next question, you get in return. This is how CLI works. It's not really scripting or programming. But it's true, at this time and also today, we don't really have good tutorials for the CLI tools. So I had to do a lot of research to find out how to mint native assets and NFTs and on Cardano blockchain. And I found only one good tutorial from a German guy, I forget his name, on Medium. And this tutorial I still use if I do my minting. It's kind of difficult to create on-chain NFTs. You need to put all this code onto the blockchain, and you have space limitations. So you have to learn a very compact way of coding and a very good way of coding. Don't do redundant things, don't repeat, and just avoid garbage in your code. So working with Sellerhood is my real JavaScript experience. It started with nearly zero, and it's I think it's good now. I learned that NFTs are not really on-chain. Only the hash is stored on-chain, and I just wanted to know if it's possible to store the whole NFT on-chain. A self-containing NFT, which is all the code is stored in one NFT, and it started as a challenge to put the NFT on-chain, but with the limitations of 16 kilobytes, the interactive aspect arised, I would say, because it's ridiculous, but it's more difficult to store an image as an on-chain NFT on the blockchain as a JavaScript NFT, because JavaScript code is always kind of generating images, generating textures, and you have generative graphics. So you can create much more with JavaScript than if you just use a simple image, because it's very difficult to create an image which is lower than 16 kilobytes. But I've already seen a few projects which have accomplished this 8-bit graphic style. It's possible, but it's also difficult. As I have finished my first Stellarhood draft, it was like 30 kilobytes. So it was way too big for the blockchain. And then I have started to squeezing down the code, and it was like 2 months of just squeezing, you know. After I finished my 3D engine, the interactive engine, the buttons, text, and so on, I have spent much more time after that to squeeze down the code. So this is the main challenge of on-chain NFTs, to put it all in 60 kilobytes. I have created a 3D engine for my planets. You know, planets, it's just better to look at in 3D than in 2D. And of course, a 3D engine needs more space than a 2D engine. And I think it wouldn't be possible for me to squeeze the code even more. It's funny, but I didn't really know anything about Discord. As I have started my project, even after my pre-sale ended, I think I still have my Telegram group with, I don't know, I think 40 users only. And some guy just came to me and asked me, why don't you have a Discord for your project? And I didn't know what Discord is. If we could start again, I think this was a very important information I've missed, because with Discord you can create a community much faster. I wish we had more tutorials for this. It's hard to squeeze the code into 16 kilobytes, but before that you have to do a lot of research for the simplest things. After that, it's really simply, you know. And another thing is, as I have started to create Stellarhood, there was no possibility on PoolPM to show them. So I first have to convince Smog from PoolPM, and we had a really, I think, a month or so an ongoing conversation on how it's possible, how it would be possible to show not really on-chain NFTs, but interactive NFTs. You know, executing JavaScript code on clients' browsers. There are some security issues you have to consider, and yes, we had a lot of conversations, and the final result was Sandbox's iframe. So it's as much secure as possible. A very strong limitation of how PoolPM shows interactive or on-chain NFTs is it forbids every kind of connection, external connection. So with JavaScript, it would be possible to load external data. For example, for Cardano trees, you could theoretically load weather conditions, real weather conditions. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, but not on PoolPM. PoolPM blocks external connections because Smog wants to keep the NFTs deterministic. So there's no possibility that your NFT knows anything about the world outside of the NFT itself. So it's always the same NFT. And Cardano trees, for example, use the time informations from your browser. So you can just change your time or your date on Windows, and you will get another Cardano tree. The change is really live, yeah? Because JavaScript allows to use time informations. But there's not much more. I think it's possible to use geo information, so where your client is located, but you cannot load external data. And this is a very strong constraint for creating NFTs. Without that, you could you could really put multiplayer games as NFTs and so on. Yeah, we had two distinct concerns. The first one is a security concern, but with Sandbox's iframes, you cover 99% of the security concerns. The second concern was about the determinism. It's if you allow external connections for JavaScript, people would just start to load external libraries, like compressing libraries, like I don't know, 3D engines and whatever. But these third-party services maybe will stop their services in a few years, and your NFT will become broken. So NFT started as JPEGs, and I think the main idea behind this decision was to keep the NFTs working in 10 and 20 years. So if you have your vanilla JavaScript code and it's self-containing and you don't have external libraries, it probably will work in 10 years or in 20 years. I have decided for me and my projects that I understand NFTs as owner certificates. And so every NFT, not only the planets, we have much more NFTs right now. They are not on-chain anymore because they are too big, but you still can use your planets with the new utility NFTs and all this in the new game. And it's kind of a browser game. And every aspect of this game is, if you have space stations, if you have modules, your NFTs grants you the ownership of this. So if you sell your NFT, you just sell the ownership of this module, of the space station and whatever. But in the game, not much changes. So if anyone get the ownership of the Starbase, he will get the revenue from the Starbase, not you anymore. So NFTs just providing ownership rights in the game. And I think it's a good way to work with NFTs. So we have, I think, a 10-page big tutorial for beginners, and it's very good. We had the launch sale in the last year, in July and August, the planets and the stars. So you have the ownership cards for planets and for stars. This year we have an NFT sale which is about star bases. So at the moment we have only one starbase. It's pretty easy. If you got one starbase NFT, you have your starbase in the game. And if you want to move your starbase to other planets, you will have to buy other utility NFTs. For example, the Hyperjump NFT. It's a Hyperjump device, so you can have 1, 2, 3, and more NFTs like the Hyperjump module. And the more you have, the farther you can travel with your starbase. This is for the Hyperjump traveling. So you have your starbase, you have Hyperjump modules, and you can travel. The next step is to attach harvesting modules to your starbase. And at the moment we have 2 harvesting modules, a particle collector and a surface harvesting device. And with these devices you can just get in-game resources. Cardania has created their own resources. They have like, I don't know, 30, maybe 20 resources, of which they are provided 15 different to Stellarhood. And I can use the resources and let Stellarhood players harvest these resources in the game. And with the next step, they will be able to put them in their wallet back. So it's a real play to earn aspect. You're flying through the galaxy and you're harvesting Cardania resources, and you will be able to put them back in your wallet as real tokens. So Stellarhood is kind of a play for fun game with a little, with a very small play to earn aspect. And it's small because right now it's probably a very big aspect, but harvesting Cardania resources is not the main purpose of Stellarhood. My idea is to combine different projects and do collaborations with different projects. So probably Cardania resources won't stay the only resources. I want to provide utility for the original minters like you. So people who have the planets and the stars will always get benefits from this. For example, for Cardania resources, you can put some kind of percentage on your planets, on commissional percentage. So if people harvest resources on your planets, you will get something from this. It's some kind of passive income of resources. We have a big team. We have designers who are working on illustrations. We have artists for the species. I don't know if you have seen the announcements, the sneak peeks of the species, and starships. And we have a whole team which is working on the game itself. So we have provided already, I think, 3 free-to-play demos. It's single player, and it's not really NFT tokenized right now, but this shows where the whole project is heading at. Yeah, we have at the beginning we have decided on which benefits Stellarhood card holders will get in the games in the Cardonauts metaverse, and there are some few perks which are announced yet, which is for the game you will have like star bases or deep posts, and you will have free avatars from the beginning, and some other small perks. So we have a bunch of perks which we have communicated at the beginning, and they were to bring Stellarhood holders into Cardonauts, into the Cardonauts project. Yeah, and there will be a technical collaboration between these 2 projects, because Cardonauts will use Stellarhood's star systems in the game. And if you own Stellarhood star systems and Stellarhood, you will be able to rename these systems permanently in the game. Not only the 3D game in development, we have planned much more. There will be a bunch of small games which will contribute gaming experience and play-to-earn experience into the whole Cardonauts ecosystem. That's easy to answer. I'm actually a PhD physicist, and I've worked for years in an astrophysical institute in Germany. Through my work as a scientist, and I have a lot of ideas how I would create a universe game or something like this. And also I'm a big fan of science fiction books. I've read a lot of science fiction books in my life, and I think it was not possible that I create a football NFT also. Of course it would be a space NFT, an astronomy NFT. Yeah. We had the land sale. I call it land sale because it actually was a land sale for the planets and stars in the last year, and in this year we have the star bases and modules. It's called the Journey to the Stars expansion, so you can actually visit your planets. And the next big step in the next year will be the colonization update. So as Stellarhood card holders, you will see cities and space stations growing on and around your planets, and you will get massive advantages from this. So you will become kind of governor of your planets, and yeah, this is my master plan. So after visiting the planets, you will be able actually to colonize them. And the benefit of JavaScript NFTs, I can use the textures of the planets for creating continents and real landscapes. So it's just information. There's a lot of information in these on-chain NFTs I can use for the next decades of game developing, I think. And the next step will be to colonize the planets. Yeah. Yeah, well, the step-by-step tutorial I mentioned before is a very good start. Even without scripting experience, you will be able to mint your first NFT. Yeah, the very first step would be to go into the JPEG store, and they have a very easy way to mint your first NFT, you know, either on JPEG store or NFT Maker. They always offered a possibility to easily mint your first NFT. And I think if you have minted your first NFT on these platforms, you can just look into the blockchain data and see of which data the NFT is containing. And the next step would be the tutorial I will provide you. And you can just easily install your first Cardano node and start minting on CLI basis. And after that, you can decide if you want to go into graphical NFTs like images. It's pretty easy to bring them on chain, or the hashes on chain, or you want to go into interactive, fully on chain NFTs like Stellarhot. But for this, you will need real scripting experience. Yeah. I always wanted to create my own game and also my own book. And yeah, the first attempt is the Stellarhot ebook, which is sold as NFT, as everything. And we have started with the first chapter, and I have already the next 3 chapters ready for the sale. But I'm waiting for the artists for the illustrations, because each chapter has its own cover picture, which are pretty cool, you will see. And I really like the book. I know the story of the next 10 chapters. My writer provided me, and I think it will be pretty cool. Yeah.